Well, in Texas, man, you see him here. He's been fighting a tough legal battle to stop paying child support for a child who isn't even his.
I've been paying child support about 13 years. I never seen the child, never spoke to the child, don't know what the child looks like.
Well, the state of Texas voted to allow DNA proof to reverse parental rights, but it works forwards and not backwards, which does mean the man is still on the hook for about $21,000 in back payments as far as we can see. So what legal recourse does he have? Joining us now to debate, attorney Rebecca LeGrand feels the man must still pay what he owes. An attorney, Lisa Giovanazzo, says he should try and get his money back. Lisa, I'll start with you. How could he get his money back?
Well, it's not necessarily getting the money back. The statute says that you're not entitled to money that you've paid. But they're actually going after this gentleman for arrears. He owes $21,000 plus interest in arrears. And that's not what the statute is protecting against. So on the basis of this is actually violating this man's constitutional rights. He has a finding from the court that he is not the paternal father of this girl. The mother has actually written a letter to the court saying, I don't want his money. Now, the Attorney General is still going after the money, and then we'll have to give it to the mother. So who does this benefit? It benefits the state. The state doesn't want to take care of the child, use its own financial services, public assistance for the child, so they're passing the burden on to Carson.
It doesn't seem like the mother is completely in the clear, though, because she did include his name on the birth certificate, which is where the confusion really began. Rebecca, what do you think about this? Can he get his money?
Well, you know, Mr. Carson didn't challenge this originally. He accepted he was the father for 13 years. There was a judgment against him that he owed this money, just like a judgment when a court decides that you have to pay a traffic ticket. He had a debt, and the state is entitled to try and collect on that debt. Now, there may be ways he can get that money from someone else, but fundamentally, you know, the father, I feel bad for him here, but there's a reason he thought he was the father. He's not an innocent player here. He, frankly, must have slept with the woman, and you take a risk when that happens.
Let's take a look at what Texas law says. When does child support end in Texas? Well, support stops once parental rights end, and they're still obligated for any payments before that date. Can you help us make sense of that, Lisa?
You know what it is. You have to look at the case a little bit and the laws. And while this is the law right now, Texas has done a lot to manipulate these laws, change these laws. In fact, the title's a little deceiving. He's been paying for the child for 13 years without any recourse. He wasn't on trial for 13 years. He wasn't in litigation. In fact, he was barred from litigation because in Texas, prior to 2011, a father had to challenge the paternity before the child turned 4.
Yeah.
And if the mother used the birth certificate, as she did here, and got a finding from the court making it an order, he couldn't challenge it at all.
Rebecca, quickly, final word. What if they find the real father? What happens?
The real father would be responsible for child support payments going forward. And if Mr. Carson can prove that he was defrauded in some way by the real father or by the mother, he could sue them to try and get paid back for what he owes. But fundamentally, right now, he owes the money that the state has said he owed in the past, and he should have paid it.
And unfortunately, there's a child wrapped up in the middle of all of this. Lisa and Rebecca, thanks for your time today.